welcome to my Twitch and Facebook, not Twitch, YouTube and Facebook exclusive stream of Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Again, I will probably try to look into whether or not I can just upload something to broadcast later on Facebook, but um, I have to update the thumbnail. Very good, now it's fixed. So, in case you're not aware, today there is a bit of a boycott thing going on for a number of streamers to protest Twitch's lack of response to any kind of direct response to the active sort of hate raids against particularly LGBTQ streamers. Um, Basically, a raid, from what I understand, I've only experienced it once. It may have actually been on when I was first starting streaming. I think maybe around then I think I got a raid. Um, that's when I first learned about it. I believe the purpose of a raid on Twitch is the idea of, I don't know if it was actually a feature in Twitch or it was just like a um just a concept, but basically um I imagine it's just a concept that in general, but the original purpose of a raid, to my knowledge, was streamers would find a relatively new streamer or kind of a known streamer or something. I should feel a little bit honored maybe to have gotten a raid because someone noticed me and decided to send their followers to see me, and unfortunately, I don't think too much came of it. Excuse me, but I think that's the general intended purpose of the raid idea is for larger streamers to support smaller streamers by hey, let's go check out this other guy. I finished my stream. Go see this guy. He seems interesting. He seems cool. Or she or they, obviously. Um, Now it's um, recently there's been a practice of and this has happened on YouTube to some extent as well. I know Jessie Gender got a little bit of a hate raid um, on her YouTube channel while she was streaming um, Mass Effect. Um, I think it may have been Mass Effect 2, actually. I can't remember. It was one of the Mass Effects. It was part of the Legendary Edition. Um, and I think she didn't really mind that it happened because thick skin. I think I got a little bit of, not really a hate, definitely not a hate raid, but there's someone kind of going on. I've occasionally had one or two people come on and sort of troll or attempt to troll me. And uh, one time I kind of engaged them a little bit, and it was kind of it was an interesting interaction. I would have preferred it to happen on Mass Effect because at the very least then it's an M-rated game. if you're gonna do M-rated trolling, um, but my general policy is to just do my best to ignore it, and that's exactly what I did, and it got instant results apparently, because I got this one little offensive, a little bit of a casual conversation, and then a derogatory comment, and I just like, okay, that does not deserve a response from me. But yeah, like when I think there's a difference between just general hate and trolling, and then hate spam, which is usually what a lot of these raids involve. It's just overloading the conversation with all sorts of hate, and it's just it's not cool in general, and it's very difficult to moderate when you even have like bots involved often. Um, so yeah, like Twitch needs to bare minimum say they're looking into how to do something about this. I realize it is a very complex problem, like to not just like in terms of like freedom of speech, because I mean like free speech, the First Amendment. Fun fact does not apply to companies, um, for better or for worse, and I think to some extent for the better. I do think that companies need to um, and freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequences as well. Um, like I think a line needs to be drawn somewhere. Like I'm for free speech on these kinds of platforms in a general sense, but when you're spreading like misinformation, um, when you're spreading out like lies, um, when you're spreading hate, and just um, like those things need to be policed to where appropriate. Um, also, okay, I think this isn't. I think dang it, there's not short in this or something. Like legally, okay. I'm not getting any audio whatsoever from my left speaker. That's bad. I don't have like any other pairs of headphones right now. They are wired anyway. I prefer wired. I have earbuds. I I may just have to hope that this is only like some sort of bug in the title screen. Like, let me troubleshoot, make sure it's not. No, it's not my ears. I'm pretty sure it's not my ears. Like I can hear crickets outside very clearly. Like these are freaking Turtle Beach. Like they're like the name in headsets. I mean, these are like one of the cheaper Turtle Beach headsets, but still, that's no excuse for like definitely sounds like a short. Cause like I'm getting, huh? Okay, how do you? That's weird. How do you get partially plugged in? I wonder if it's a problem with the microphone ring or something. So it's all the way plugged in. It when it's partially plugged in, it's fine. But when I plug it in all the way, it's like the further little ring. It Because I mean, this is the side that the microphone usually is supposed to come out of, and I just don't have plugged in because I don't need it. I have another Turtle Beach mic right here. Hopefully, this isn't gonna be too loud. Um, right here. I hope it sounds okay. But anyway, so basically, I'm not streaming to Twitch today in solidarity. As an ally, I know I'm not particularly big, like very far from it. Like I'm only on the verge of getting partner status because some good. I don't know how it happened, but I imagine it's someone who was either a good Samaritan or a Samaritan of questionable moral taste somehow got a bunch of bots to follow me because I had like just one day I had like 7,000 followers out of nowhere, and I think that was down to around like 5,000 ish. Like it's far above the requirement for partner, and like I still had no idea what to do about it. Like, kind of say like Twitch, you should just like look into my followers and like someone may have paid for this. Although like I still don't like have a ton of bot viewers, so like, I'm assuming the problem will eventually resolve itself as Twitch just cleans stuff up in general. Um, I just hate to have a bunch of my legitimate followers inadvertently banned if they decide to just purge everything. Um, but anyway, what was it? Okay, so I also consider myself to be bi-gender. Uh, I recently was like, thinking about like my facial hair, a kind of dilemma in terms of my presentation. I'm a biological that's distinctly distinct from, yeah. If I just move around even slightly, it's going to become unplugged entirely. Is it coming out of my left ear now? Okay, that was weird. Okay, anyway, I'm a biological male. Um, so this is all natural basically. Um, but I was thinking like the fact that I wear a goatee, rather than full beard, is actually kind of a representation of my gender nature. Like that's how I can justify it now. Although not everyone who has every man who has a goatee is bi-gender, but it's a good way to like represent your bi-genderness. Although I probably need to like do a better job like shaving in general, but I think if I would explain in earlier streams why I have a goatee, like what is that? I just like I like having a, a beard to stroke. And yeah. Also, I work at a place where I'm technically not supposed to have facial hair, but because we have mask mandates, but we're allowed to wear masks if we choose to. With the Delta variant around, I decided, a combination of wanting to have a goatee, being finally able to have one discreetly. Anyway, we're doing later with Shadow Broker, maybe some other DLC stuff. I'm not quite sure. I'm also kind of curious as to whether or not DLC stuff uh, advances interactions with crewmates. We might also do some other loyalty missions. Again, I'll look into maybe, or maybe I won't. Because I'm kind of lazy. Um, Whether or not I can upload this for rebroadcast on Twitch tomorrow at some point. But I'm kind of doubting it. And besides, stuff my because I'm not a partner, my stuff will eventually, my archives eventually get deleted anyway. So best place to watch my VODs has and probably will be for quite some time YouTube. So okay, I think my controller's refusing to sync again. It just takes a few seconds. I also say that truly to my bigender status, I'm in I'm still in a bit of a position of privilege, just being um, comfortable presenting male. So like I literally have to tell you that I am bigender. Um, I actually also have to tell you that I'm in the autism spectrum. Those things are like the autism spectrum kind of shines through now and again, but like you can't just tell by looking at me. Joker might have something to say about Fane. Also, I really want to test how the collectorship is triggered.
Oh, another dangerous alien aboard, Commander. Thanks. Why can't you collect coins or commemorative plates or something?
I assume everything is going well up here?
This thing wants to fire me over a joke. Okay, I said I'd flash the AI core, but I was kidding. And we'd only lose a few systems. Nosy ones.
To clarify, human resources adjustments are not actually under my authority.
Then why? Why are you always picking on me?
My replies were intended to provoke, though not to cause distress. Your reactions are atypical of most humans. You are interesting.
She pushed your buttons to get a rise out of you. About time you were on the receiving end.
Yeah, great. I just got worked by the intercom.
It was not my intent to breed hostility, Mr. Moreau, but you did instigate our interaction.
Okay, but think of it this way. Shut up.
That's it for now.
See you, Commander.
I don't think it really matters who we bring at this point. Have I recently leveled up? I guess I have.
This is a recall notice. All users of Koros brand medical radiation systems are asked to discontinue treatment immediately. Please return your system to an authorized dealer for a refund or for credit toward the exciting new Koros brand radiation personal defense weapon. Customer safety is important, and Koros remains committed to providing the best radiation-based solutions on the market. Koros, a division of Elcos Combine.
Are you shorting prefabs?
Why not? I did it after you tried.
Novacorp has been implicated in a massive financial scandal with authorities investigating a number of trading irregularities. Novacorp executives did not immediately respond to
Shepard,
requests for
it's good to
clarification.
see you again.
Novacorp press release
So,
explained the charges
what can I do for you?
I'll just see how different she looks compared to how she does right now.
I know you're looking for the Shadow Broker. Cerberus gave me data on where to find him. Interested?
Absolutely. I had no idea. Let me see what you've got. It looks like a leaked transmission between Shadow Broker operatives. Some hints as to the location and... It's about Farron. He's still alive.
Who's Farron?
He was a friend. He helped me recover your body from the Shadow Broker.
Why did the Shadow Broker want my corpse?
He was going to sell you to the collectors, but Farron and I stopped him. Farron sacrificed himself to save me.
So you rescued me. Then how did I end up with Cerberus?
Well, they gave me intel to help recover you. They actually put Farron with me in the first place. After I got out, I gave you to them. They said they could bring you back.
You kept me out of the Collector's hands. Without you, I couldn't have come back. Thank you.
I didn't know how you'd feel when Cerberus restored you. If you'd feel betrayed or... They brought you back. And now they're giving me a chance to find Farron. After 2 years. I hadn't even dreamed.
Sounds like you and Farron were close.
It's funny. He betrayed me more than once. He was double-dealing for Cerberus, for the Shadow Broker. But in the end, he sacrificed himself for me. I owe him.
Any friend of yours is a friend of mine. What's the next step?
I don't know. I need to prepare, to think. I'm going home. Use my terminal if you need any local intel.
You okay?
I've spent 2 years plotting revenge. Now I have the chance to make it a rescue.
Let me help. I'll come by your apartment.
Okay. Hopefully I'll have a plan by then. Thank you, Shepard.
That's kind of weird. Like, why can't we go together? Information on Jessica Samara. I'd love to ask Mark Mir about
William sees many human refugees, terminus orphans, and former slaves
Shut up.
abandoned by Batarian raiders. For many, the adjustment is difficult, but one man, Conrad Werner, wants to help. Werner is organizing
Look
Shepherd,
at this.
a charity that helps human refugees, orphans, and former war prisoners. In a prepared statement, he said that this new charity is his way of showing
I
his
think
support.
it might be out here, hopefully.
Listen, I know. What is it? I'm in the middle of an important call.
I overheard you talking. Is this the data you're looking for?
The Kurosa Generational Archive. You found it. Thank you. My whole family has been worried. That data is irreplaceable. I didn't think I'd get it back from Nasana's corporate building.
If this data is so important, why didn't you have backups?
We did. A rival family introduced a computer virus and our techs were sloppy. The virus destroyed all our data. I just spent a fortune getting the data recovered and reconstructed when Nasana went crazy. We live in a world of infinite data redundancy. To lose something so important because of one crazy Asari?
Why is this data so important anyway?
It's a genetic history for the entire Kurosa family. It's used for high-level reproductive negotiations. It would be like a human pedigree, I suppose. Without it, you're bargaining from a greatly weakened position. Losing this would have hurt my family for generations, maybe even destroyed it.
There's your data. I hope it helps your family.
You have no idea, human. I don't know who you are or how you got it, but thank you. Here, for your trouble. Blessings be upon you. You've certainly blessed us.
Excuse me, you know where I can find Serena?
She's not here anymore. Oh, you're the one she was helping out. She took a job off-world. Didn't say where. She gave me something for you. Looks like a message.
She didn't say anything else?
She just gave me that and left. Not even a goodbye.
Hey, Shepard. I was on my way to a new life when the new burst arrived. The bitch is dead. I assume that means your friend is alive and he finished his job. Tell him if I ever see him, I'll buy him a drink.
Just delete it for no reason. Huh, okay. Ellie!
Discipline, teamwork, confidence. When you join the Blue Suns mercenary group, you're getting a crash course in life. Join today and find out about our incentive program, signing bonuses, and retirement options. Blue Suns, we'll cut you a path to the future.
What?
I don't know, that still sounds like an awful thing to legalize.
All the dangers are right there on the package. It's legally required.
I'm telling you, relax. Thax will never notice a few missing pieces. No, I can't get in. Because it's a crime scene. It's all locked down. Eclipse Mercs, some Justicar, I don't know. Nobody is ever going to see the extra merchandise. Which is why we're going to be rich.
I think the only reason why, we don't actually go if we are because of this.
Samples and get them back to the lab.
We got multiple shots fired. Yeah, techs are going over the place now.
Central, we got an open carrier on this end. Switching to a coded relay.
What's going on?
This area is sealed off. Please step back, sir.
Sealed off? Why?
Someone tried to kill your friend, Commander Shepard. Thank you, officer. Your people are dismissed.
You can't do that.
Already done. Tila Vasir, Special Tactics and Recon.
A specter?
I heard your status was reinstated. Good. You're one of our most famous operatives. Might even get you to sign my chest plate. So, I assume you had business with your friend this evening, Commander.
Liara was following a lead on the Shadow Broker.
The Shadow Broker. Dangerous enemy to have.
Liara was expecting me. She would have left a message here. Her office wasn't safe.
I'm not surprised. Helium is just Omega with expensive shoes. I haven't found anything useful for tracking her down yet. You knew Tassoni better than I do. Where would she have hidden her backups?
Let me take a look around.
Well, Ellie?
It's part of my old armor.
Looks like someone didn't like you much either.
Ellie? Oh, you're just like standing there.
Yeah, that's not the Asari homeworld. I'm not sure what planet that is.
It's Ilos.
Don't worry, Commander. We'll find her. A doctorate from the University of Ceres, back on Thessia. She's getting good use out of all that education. The picture changed when you touched it. It must be keyed to your ID. What does it show now?
It's a Prothean dig site. Liara did leave a message.
There are a few Prothean-looking objects around the apartment. Let's see what we can find. Those things must be worth a fortune.
What you doing, Ellie?
The rifle used to do that wasn't standard issue. The kinetic barrier deflected the shots, but they still managed to penetrate the glass.
Like, how far away were you? I mean, were they? They. Like, this seems to be like the nearest building, but the biggest hole would seem to suggest that you're from, like, one of those tall buildings over there. Oh, like the shadow pattern. I mean, she could have been in a car or something. I don't know.
Nasir, I've got something here.
Backup disk. Let's try it on her terminal. It looks like she recorded a call.
What have you got for me, Sagat?
It was tricky, but you paid for the best. I can narrow it down to a cluster, maybe even a system.
How soon can you have it?
Shouldn't take long. Come to my office. Barrier Frontiers in the Dracon Trade Center. Gotta say though, T'Soni, you're making me a little nervous. How big is the trouble that could come out of this?
Relax, Sagat. I'll see you in a few hours.
This must be important. The Shadow Broker's people already tried to kill her once.
I know where the Dracon Trade Center is. My car's outside.
Let's go.
The Barrier Frontiers offices are located on the 3rd floor. I don't hear police chatter. We must have missed the party.
Liara's in there!
What the hell?
Hey, voice acting from the...
They just took out 3 floors to make sure she's dead. I'll grab this sky car and seal off the building from the top.
I'll start down here and work my way up.
Just leave some for me.
It's probably the one DLC they put the most production value into. Like, definitely by far. Like, Arrival,
What happened?
like, has a bit of production value, but like this one,
Was it a bomb? What happened?
Who are you? What's going on?
and granted, like, Jack just saying "what the hell" I think might be the only line she'll have.
Please exit the building in an orderly fashion. Emergency power engaged.
That could even be a line from someplace else in the game. I don't know.
Nasir, the elevators are out and building security is down.
No alarms, no police. Very professional.
Serving industry for over 120 years, the Dracon Trade Center takes pride in being the home to Ilium's corporate elite. Thanks to us, companies like X-Solar Shipping,
Barrier Frontier employee. Looks like he got caught in the explosion.
I wouldn't take any bets on T'Soni's informant surviving that blast.
Set bombs, killing everyone.
Casualty here. Looks like he's got bullet wounds. Watch yourself, Nasir. They used military-grade hardware.
Bullet wounds. Guess this was more than just an explosion.
life isn't about arriving. It's about the ride along the way. At Nizo, every vehicle is an island of style and an engine for freedom. Nizo Transportation. Enjoy the ride.
Up the stairs.
Basir, I found a military-grade explosive device. It hasn't been armed.
Sloppy work. You use that kind of hardware when you don't have time to plan.
Exeler Shipping is the leading industry authority on resource logistics and management. We are committed to providing clients with secure, affordable, and efficient solutions to all their transportation needs.
Basir, I'm at the Barrier Frontiers office. Liara signed in just a few minutes ago.
Understood, Commander.
Welcome to Barrier Frontiers. Let us be your guide to limitless possibilities. Expansion, exploration, and financial growth in a universe without...
Here they come.
Basir, I'm pinned down. Mercs, and they're well armed.
Say hello to the Shadow Broker's private army, Commander.
Oh.
Come here.
I know, you're so silly.
Get ready.
Can't get a lock.
Going silent.
Trouble incoming!
Using a drone.
Now you see me.
No grenade indicators? Has the grenades themselves, I guess. Yeah, just lean over occasionally to quick save, okay?
Basir, these damaged pipes are on fire. They're blocking the stairs.
Look for a switch to activate the fire suppressant system.
Got it. Should be clear now.
Good. I'm on my way down.
See that?
Now you see me.
This is valuable.
What the hell? Why did I do that? Why did I do that, Ellie? There you go. Now they can see the full back of your head. Oh, you didn't have to bypass it? Oh. Wait, where are you going? Okay.
Damn it. If I'd have been a few seconds faster, I could have stopped them.
Yeah, sure.
Saket?
Must have been.
No sign of that data Liara talked about. Looks like a dead end.
Speaking of which, did you find your friend's body?
You mean this body?
That different.
Liara. Something I should know?
This is the woman who tried to kill me.
You've had a rough day, so I'll let that slide. Why don't you put that gun down?
I saw you. I doubled back after I left. I watched you break into my apartment.
You didn't know where Liara went, because she hid the message. You needed me to find it for you.
Thanks for the help.
Once she had my location, she signaled the Shadow Broker's forces. They bombed the building to take me out. She found Saket, took his data, and killed him. I'm guessing she's still got the disc on her.
Good guess. Not that you'll ever see what's on it. You pure blood bitch!
Team powers activate!
It's about
Hey, I was gonna steal his help before you killed him.
She's getting away.
And then comes the best scene in the game. Or the worst, depending on...
fine, by the way. Thanks for asking.
Speaking Jack, she has lines. Or she had lines. She had a line.
Come on, she's getting away.
Hey, here. Oh.
There she is. Hang a right. No, wait, left.
I'm on her.
Hang a left. She's around the corner. They're not going into the construction site, are they? I'm not letting her escape with that data. Damn it, we lost her.
Come on!
I'm not letting her escape with that data.
Hey,
We need to go faster. She's almost out of range. Go, 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 go!
I'm going.
Traffic! Oncoming traffic!
We'll be fine.
Hurry, Shepard, we're losing her. She's almost out of range.
really? Okay, this is...
I'm not letting her escape with that data. Go, 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 go!
I'm going.
Traffic! Oncoming traffic!
Really? I can... Go to hell.
I'm not letting her escape with that data. Go, 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 go,
I
go,
may
go,
actually freaking give this a negative.
Traffic! Oncoming traffic!
We'll be fine.
Hey.
I'm not letting her escape with
Sometimes
that data.
calling a thing makes me lose. Sometimes it doesn't. Be consistent.
Go, 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 go!
I'm going.
Traffic! Oncoming traffic! I'm not letting her
Bang!
escape with that data. Go, 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 go!
Like, this is exciting and not like...
We need to go back. Traffic! Oncoming traffic!
We'll be fine.
You have two speeds.
She's
Slow.
dropping proximity charges.
I noticed.
She's getting away.
I hope it's a checkpoint.
She's got reinforcements.
What kind of guns does this thing have?
It's a taxi. It has a fare meter.
Wonderful.
Truck.
I know.
Truck.
I know. There we go.
You're enjoying this.
Like, I can give it information positive for the banter.
Collision at this speed.
Yeah, I hear those can be bad for you.
Truck.
Again?
Watch out.
I mean, it's okay once you get the hang of it, I guess.
Bonjour. Get me some damn backup.
Watch out! They're dropping reinforce. There's Vizier's car. Come on, she can't have gotten far. Watch out! They're dropping reinforcements in to slow us down.
Oh.
Can't get a lock. Can't reach the target. Can't get a lock. Can't reach the target.
They're using combo.
Can't get a lock.
This is why I like Vanguard.
They got combat drones. Can't reach the. Can't get a lock.
What? Why are you coming out of cover? What? Oh, come on.
Come on, we can climb over to get to Vizier's car.
Yeah, get all the thingamajigs. And reload as much as we can. Okay, there we go. I think ammo isn't exactly scarce in this game, so they can't really give it too many fault for getting rid of the the heat sink thing. I also have some other stuff over here, but I'm pretty sure I could criticize all the DLC across the first two games, at least, is that they really skimped on getting. I think I mentioned before they really skimped on getting the other voice actors to come back. Besides, male and female Shep. Here it's not as obvious because, like, Liara. It's also pretty much a testament to how popular Liara's character was and still is. how much she's effectively the OTP. Not for this Shepard, but for Shepard in general. Well, I can save. There you go.
What kind of hotel is this?
Azure. It's a luxury resort with an exotic edge. Azure is slang for a part of the Asari body in some areas of Ilium.
Where?
Mainly the lower reaches, near the bottom.
I meant where on the Asari body?
So did I.
Hey, we're unarmed. We didn't see anything.
This looks interesting.
They'll be reaching a point where we can get even more Paragon points. How are we looking on Paragon? We're pretty good. We're just like one bar away from being masked.
She's lost a lot of blood. We have to be getting close.
She's tough. I'll give her that much.
She's a Spectre.
Dude, incidentally, we can change our weapons loadout. That doesn't indicate anything ominous.
Vizier, it's over.
Hey! Hey, you! Come here. What's your name?
Mariana.
Mariana. You want to live, don't you? Tell those people that you want to live.
Please.
We'll get you out of here safely, Mariana.
Well, that's good to hear. All you had to do was walk away. Now it gets ugly.
Please, I have a son.
A son? I hope he gets to see you again. I've heard losing a parent is just horrific for children. Scars them for life.
I'm going to end you, Vizier.
It's okay, Liara. We'll handle it. The usual way.
You want Mariana's little boy to grow up without a mommy, Shepard? Thermoclips on the ground now. Power cells too.
Is that it?
What?
Vasir, I sacrificed hundreds of human lives to save the Destiny Ascension. I unleashed the Rachni on the galaxy. So for your sake, I hope your escape plan doesn't hinge on me hesitating to shoot a damn hostage.
You're bluffing.
Now, Liara. They've seen us.
You know, actually, that's kind of hilarious that the Paragon option here is to literally tell her, like, why do you think I'd hesitate over potentially shooting a hostage? Because that's literally what Zandra would be saying. Like, do you know me? I mean, granted, he has a similar history a little bit, like, with some of the hostage situations he's been in. Like, he's managed to de-escalate a few hostage situations, but he did, like, let the Batarian kill hostages in order to have a shot at taking him in. Anyway, I need to get some more water before we engage in this epic boss battle. I was going to talk about Mark Mir. I think I didn't finish that thought. Because... Okay, I'm going to keep the headphones off. I just want to ask him if his performance in Mass Effect 2 is a response, if his apparently improved performance between Mass Effect 1 and 2 is like a direct response to criticism of him and in praise of Jennifer Hale, or if it was just the fact that he may have had a somewhat better director this time around. Maybe the director was responding to that feedback. But like, I feel like the general direction it was given to Mark and Jennifer may have been something around the lines of, you know, Shepard's kind of an empty vessel, or, you know, a vessel through which the player projects their own feelings and emotions and impressions of what Shepard should be. And I think Jennifer sort of took that direction, like, in her own way, both Mark and Jennifer sort of took that direction in a different way. I think Jennifer took it kind of the way that she's always taken it throughout the entire trilogy, which is to kind of I mean, I don't know how I could describe it. Like, it's been a while since I've played through. It's been a couple years since I played through the trilogy with Zandra. I feel like she kind of is like she's tough when she needs to sound, she's renegade when she needs to sound renegade, and she's paragon when she needs to sound paragon. She didn't like let the idea that like she's a proxy for the player to hinder her from giving a nuanced performance. And I think the trick to it is also to, because players can actually kind of bounce back and forth in certain areas, to have the character not like feel like she's some sort of like really edgy character, or particularly Renegade or particularly Paragon. She can be a bit of both without feeling like a different character. And I also feel like Mark Mir, at least from Mass Effect 2 forward, captures a similar vibe. Like, it still sounds like the same Shepard from the first game, but he started to inject a bit more of a sense of personality, and it feels a bit substantially less flat, at least to my ear. I think that actually does say something, because about Mass Effect 1 and his performance in it, because I think I can kind of confirm that it is inferior, and it's not just his voice in general, or my own bias toward Jennifer Hill, because I just prefer playing female characters in general, and I like that sound of voice or whatever. I don't know. My own status as being bi gender, I tend to roleplay female characters as an extension of that particular half of my identity. The only reason why I'm playing it, Mel Shepard, is because I played FemShep 4, so we already have that perspective presented, and because I want to explore the other romance options. And unfortunately, the vast majority of the romance options, or the female romance options are restricted to male Shepard. Like, you pretty much just have Liara and Kelly, I think. I guess a few other, I think mostly bisexual characters. In like, they have a couple other. I think Allers is bi, and again, your yeoman, your new yeoman is bi. Like, what is up with yeoman characters and being bisexual? At least I imagine they are. They may be lesbians. I don't. I think I remember like hearing that they're basically bi somewhere, or reading it. I don't know. Like, I think like it feels like their attitude going, like, apparently it was because of like the Fox News hit piece on the first Mass Effect, which was barely pornographic. Like, I even pointed out that like our scene is just side boob, and at least in this version, like, you do see full frontal, like, for a second, and you can clearly tell that, like, she's a Barbie doll. So I think it was their intent to have, the shots being done tastefully, Like it's more tasteful than a Cinemax film, a late night Cinemax film, which only people my age will or Skinemax as some people have referred to it. Because if I remember correctly, even Cinemax like actually had like at least toplessness in it. But was otherwise what would be described as softcore. I'm not even sure there's actually a market these days for softcore. Anyway, let's stop talking about that. But yeah, like from every game up until like pretty sure every game I did up until the modern gen or 8th gen, like they went out of their way to like not even do tasteful like side boob action. Like PG-13. But they make it clear that like they're wearing a bra. Anyway, so it's a combination of that level of censorship and turning down non-hetero relationships beyond or that was funny because Kelly is like actually pansexual. But because she's a minor character, I guess, a relatively minor character, I guess they let that go through. I'm not even sure if she actually has like an actual scene. I think it's just like implied. Whereas like all the squad mates actually have. Anyway, well, I'm not on the subject. Like I started out talking about like Mark Meer and there being improvements of his performance, and then it just like my mind went straight into the gutter from there. I don't know how much this is actually going to help us. But she can like warp around. Yeah. This is not the best heavy weapon to use against her. I think she literally shoots. Oh, okay. A little bit.
Can't get a lock.
Get in here and kill Shepard, damn it.
And she's not as bad as certain characters from
Neutralize the drone.
Shield down. Can't reach the target.
They're under control.
What?
I'll finish you myself.
Watch out, shockwave. This should slow them down.
That she?
Watch out.
Oh, damn it. Damn it.
Sakat's personal data pad. This has what we need to find the Shadow Broker.
You're dead. The Shadow Broker has been in power for decades. He's stronger than anything you've ever faced.
Is that why you sold out the council to work for him?
You think I betrayed the council? Like Saren? Go to hell. The broker's given me damn good intel over the years. Intel that saved lives and kept the Citadel safe. So if the broker needs a few people to disappear, I'll pay that price without hesitation.
Spectres don't blow up buildings filled with innocent people.
Sure we do. We get our hands dirty so the council doesn't have to. The councilors might complain about our methods to soothe their consciences, but they never look too closely. Besides, you're with Cerberus. You have any idea what your terrorist friends have done?
I know who they are and what they've done. It doesn't matter.
I think it does. You want to judge me? Look in the mirror.
I don't think it doesn't matter.
Biotic death camps, killing Alliance admirals who ask questions, and you're with them. Don't you dare judge me. Don't you?
Eliminate Sony and retrieve the data. Civilian casualties not a concern.
Vasir's dead.
I'm putting the data through to the Normandy's computers. We can be at the Shadow Broker's base in a few hours. He'll know about Vasir before long. If he decides to kill Farron.
We won't give him time.
We'll need the Normandy's stealth systems to get us in close undetected. The Shadow Broker's agents
I don't know
are
why
still
that's a
making their way through
prompt.
With luck, they won't notice we've left until it's too late.
That's a little cold. They killed innocent people.
You know what I mean.
Do I? When I hit the ground back at the trade center, you went after Vasir without a backward look.
A little fall wasn't going to kill you. I had to stay on Vasir. I had to stay rational, make the call, like I did with Sakat.
That's Vasir's fault, not yours.
Sakat had no idea what the stakes were. I put him in harm's way to get the data I needed. I got him killed. And I'd do it again. But from here on out, things will be simple. Get in, get Farron, get out. And kill anyone who tries to stop us.
That's it?
That's it.
Will you just stop for a second? We'll be jumping several light years. There's time to talk.
About what?
You haven't been the same since I came back, Liara.
What do you want me to say, Shepard? That I mourned you? That I feel guilty because Farron got captured? I made mistakes. I lost people. I helped get you back. And I want to do the same for Farron. I'll sit and talk once he's safe. Until then, enjoying the scenery is an insult to the man who saved both of us.
Okay, let's go.
I'm not sure about the. I have been giving lots of positives or negatives. I guess there's two characters we need to recruit. Oh yeah, there's one that's like kind of much later into the game. Anyway, like I'm really having some second thoughts about reviewing this game in particular because this is a game I kind of just want to enjoy. Like the Mist series, I'm probably gonna be reviewing, and it's gonna at least flex my. It's gonna help me refine and um, determine my review system, and maybe once I get through those training wheels, as it were, maybe I'll start doing this. I'm probably gonna be pointing out things that I would give like positives or negatives to still. Um, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be taking notes. Um, like I've kind of neglected it maybe a little too long. Uh, I don't know. I'm very conflicted about it. Um, like there could be a control negative for the at least the beginning of the car chase sequence. Um, Once you kind of get into the rhythm of it, or toward the end, maybe the design gets a little better, perhaps. I'm not really sure. Um, but the fact that it was frustrating, and it always is kind of a little frustrating, especially at the beginning, um, I think speaks to how um, how uh, how bad the controls are. I think I can even speak to how bad the controls are because basically you have like a boost system, but you can just boost all the way through, and you're effectively sacrificing maneuverability for speed. And because speed is kind of important here, in this section, you're gonna want to probably go for speed. I think it may have been a little better if you had like I like the idea of just being able to kind of accelerate a bit. Like I don't know. Like the mini game feels a bit thrown together. I think it would have been kind of neat if you had like a cooldown for the boost, and maybe like an ability to kind of just accelerate and decelerate. You know, make it into something of a proper racing game. Racing kind of thing. Um, I wonder if I should just note this in general. Um, I might go ahead and uh, I, I do still kind of want to I'm just gonna go ahead. What the hell? Um, so control negative. I'm not sure if I'm going to change this to actual interaction, at least in my notes, because C and I are like simple shorthand. Um, I'm not sure if I'm actually going to record like a final review per se. Um, maybe I will. I don't know. I'm calling it explosives avoiding. Um, I think they're called depth charges, even though they're like not really in the ocean. Whatever. I'm calling it explosives and avoiding it in case they aren't actually depth charges. Um, like it feels like they maybe use the chase mechanics to, you know, basically add this new challenge of avoiding the bomb she's dropping, which is actually good game design, but it does like make it feel overall like a reverse difficulty curve. Because at the moment, like at the beginning, you have to like really make hard turns to actually follow her and get through um, the environment, whereas toward the end, it's more straight shots. It's less about actually following her and having to avoid losing sight of her, and more about avoiding, you know, the explosive she's dropping. And avoiding the explosive she's dropping is generally easy. Um, there's also, I would say, I'm just gonna get the negatives. Like that's the main thing I want to talk about. Um, actually, no, I'm gonna say this is a control negative because it relates. Damn it, I need to like get um like I need to try and like really get the 'cause I mean I might just do like an information positive and a control positive. Like, I might just do positives and negatives for things that do both kind of, although I feel like story stuff that relates to control should be in control. But ultimately, it is. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna call these control positives, and control negatives, because so I'm just kind of now realizing, because I've always said like that what differentiates myself from War Runner in terms of my approach to reviewing. At the very least, this is going to be good practice for later. So, and a good way to sort of refine my system further. But what I've been thinking is that what the is obviously the way that I'm going for information and interaction versus gameplay and story. That's how I'm differentiating my approach to reviewing. And story and gameplay are still kind of part of it, but story in particular is split between control and interaction, with not control, interaction and information. Um, excuse me. So information is um, the bulk of a story falls into information. But in a game where you control the flow of a story and the direction of a story, control slash interaction needs to pertain to how the interactivity of the game, how the interactivity of branching dialogue choices, and significant choices, or even how you approach a mission, or like how does that impact the story? How does your ability to control things and make choices in the game impact the story? Does the story fail to deliver on your choices? Like that's kind of the main thing at the end of the day, because just the ability to make choices alone isn't going to cut it. It like the main positive or negative is either a success at delivering, which is the little touches of recognition for your choices from the first game. And then here, the general failure to fully recognize your choices. Now there is some acknowledgement. I will give it credit for that, but I feel that like the flow of the interaction between you and I forget her freaking name. The Spectre lady, the Asari Spectre. I can't make a note of her name unless someone pops in the chat and tells me what and reminds me of what her name is, what her name was. I'm just not going to I'm not going to write it down. And granted, I am um, writing this from the perspective of what I remember from the first time I played. When I played a character who was mostly renegade. and her very background was being ruthless. Now, granted, during the first game, she did progress to being more of a paragon, and touches of that still existed in of her being a bit more compassionate. Still stuck around in Mass Effect 2, but she kind of reverted a little bit in Mass Effect 2, which is kind of part of the intent of her character arc. Um, Here I was thinking of inverting it, but then it just didn't. I always had doubts about whether or not that would work out, and it didn't. I instead decided to make him a character who is just, in general, capable of being renegade when the situation seems to call for it, but um, is generally more paragon in their attitude. So it's more about making a character who is nuanced in general versus a character who is meant to have an arc. Because I feel like the renegade to paragon thing, um, the renegade to paragon arc is more interesting because it effectively an upward arc. It's a self improvement arc. Whereas I think the idea of a character going on a journey where they just become worse doesn't really cut it. And I was kind of thinking that in this game, like maybe he would become a little more ruthless because he's working with Cerberus. But I also like my own feeling is that like everywhere where that could be an option, it feels like it would kind of be out of character. That like it's having the opposite effect of what I thought it might have. Like, but anyway, I don't know, like I would have liked if Shepard is particularly a renegade or has made several significant renegade decisions. I mean, it may require a lot of kind of because you can kind of split yourself between Paragon and Renegade a bit more. Like, I'm not sure. I think I'd maybe just add more dialogue options in general for that conversation where Shepard can kind of sympathize or be like, I understand your methods. Like, I am, like, I get it. I get where you're coming from. But you're messing with my friends. Like, that's where I draw the line. Like, I am not judging you at all. But she always has that final line of "Don't you judge me." It's like, and you don't have like a particular dialogue option to like not kind of judge her. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like I can't really like. There's no way to steer the conversation away from the intended idea of trying to contrast Shepard's way of dealing with things from her way of dealing with things, and her coming off as being judgmental of us. Which would be fair if if our more renegade inclined Shepard were trying to paint herself as being better, but you have no like real choice to be like, okay, I get why you're doing what you're doing, but again, you're messing up my friend, or in the case of Zandra, my girlfriend, and I I I can't let that happen. Sorry. And then she had that final dying whine of, "Don't you dare judge me." I mean, she could. It would just be like she's delirious when because she's dying, and she misinterprets what you said. That'd actually be a kind of funny, darkly amusing, funny um, way to. Um, I think we were gonna take Fane with us since, and once again, I talk so long that the controller shuts off. Please sync. Please sync. I did not want it to turn you off again. Okay, there we go. Um, we still haven't leveled up, but we can. If he increases health, maybe he'll live longer. So we can increase his health by 5, at least versus what, um, by 5 more points. Or we can increase his weapon damage by like, or percentage points anyway, by like substantially more points. Like not all of these are balanced, which if I were seriously reviewing it, I might kind of criticize that a little bit at least. I mean, she already can warp. But yeah, she still is a sorry scientist. I mean, we're gonna make her pure biotic there. We're gonna focus on her unique abilities. And probably. I don't know what my positives. Oh yeah, the banter. Yeah, I think this is fully control. Like it's both like the lack of acknowledgement of your earlier choices and your inability to steer the conversation away from just kind of being judgmental of her and her being judgmental back. Like that's just not very good script writing, I think, in general. Like you're working for Cerberus regardless, which is a shame. There you go. That's the main thing I wanted to praise.
Hagalas. The oceans boil during the day, then snap freeze 10 minutes after sundown.
The Shadow Broker lives in this?
His ship follows the sunset, completely undetectable in the storm, unless you know where to look.
How do we get inside?
The shuttle bay is locked down. We'll need to land on the ship and hunt for a hatch.
I think there's some subtle differences.
There's a constant lightning storm where the hot and cold air collide. It's hard to pinpoint in this lightning, but I'm picking up signals.
Oh, now we level up.
Communications array near the back of the ship. There's nothing below but maintenance equipment. We have to find an entrance near the back shielding.
I'm not sure how exactly to review even the boss battles. I mean, okay. There you go.
Maintenance drones.
Why are they attacking?
They must think we're debris from the storm. Careful. Those capacitors discharge built-up lightning.
Thanks for the tip.
Shepard, try firing at the capacitors.
I think we go kind of late on the review into things. I mean, another reason why I don't want to like make it part of the interface. Hmm.
This should slow them down. Okay, looking down was clearly a mistake.
Can't reach the target.
Dude, moving around, I can shoot you.
This ship is incredible. It must have taken decades to build in secret.
I wonder what happened to the contractors.
I think we can guess. Navigating the storm is brutal. If the ship's engines stop, even for a moment, at least the Shadow Broker would go down with us.
That's comforting.
Motion dampeners. I bet you can't even hear the storm from inside the ship.
So far, we only have one line from a squad member, which is "What the hell." I think like the Banjo Tree and Shepard and Liara in conversations in general really make up for the absence of other squad members. I also think the fact that squad mates use biotics on their own is both good and bad. Means you have to worry about their actions, but at the same time,
Rerouting power.
This should slow them down. Watch for biotics.
really? Yeah, what the freaking hell? That was close. Okay. It's just really making use of the cover mechanics. Or, the cover vaulting mechanics. Which are actually like in Mass Effect 3, there's the ability to jump across like certain areas, but I feel like that is inferior because you're basically creating a problem and then creating a solution to that problem, and the solution barely does anything. Like, again, this is because I'm thinking about it because it's um the Shadowbroker's ship's hull. That's a lot of possessives. Um, like the jumping mechanic in Mass Effect 3, by memory, is just a purely traversal based mechanic. It's there to make Shepard look kind of cool by jumping from one spot to another. There's nothing really emergent about it. There's just certain areas where you're meant to jump, and you jump, and that's it. What? What is it, Ellie? Want to come see your papa some more? Like, there's nothing clever about it. There's nothing. It doesn't add anything to the game besides, hey, now Shepard can jump from over gaps in the environment that we suddenly introduced in this game. Like, there's no point in Mass Effect 2 where you wish you could jump a gap because there's no gaps. You're creating an arbitrary problem with an arbitrary solution that has very minimal impact on the overall structure and gameplay of the game. So, again, by memory, we'll see when we get there. Like, it probably wouldn't be deserving of a negative. It would just be like, why? It'd be kind of a neutral observation. Like, I couldn't even think of a way to Like maybe during combat, like you know, you had to. There's the fact that you had to like pause for a second to jump, and you had to like. There's a risk reward thing a little bit there, but I don't know. I don't think there's any way to like really justify its existence. Whereas here, like you're taking the ability to vault over cover, which you know is useful at the spots in the game. You know, it helps ease up traversal, and then you're making it kind of required to get around and to progress. And granted, it does, you know, it's not really this. I mean, it's really well communicated because like you get to a spot and then like the arrow is still pointing you forward. So like, oh, maybe I'll try vaulting over it. Oh, okay. You know, like you're taking a mechanic that's already useful and then utilizing it for traversal, and it's just kind of fun and interesting, and like it's not really necessary, but it does communicate, which is why this could potentially be an information positive, but I don't think I'll give it an information positive because, yeah, when I have a CAD map app, so I had to shift around too much. And when I interrupt the napping needle. Right, Ellie? I'm still going to move around a little bit. Because I have to quick save sometime. Yeah. Anyway. Where are we? Where are we going?
Here they come.
Also weird this adds grenades. I love they say right before I reach the target.
Shield your eyes.
What? Oh, come on.
This lightning rod is on a rail. Do you see a switch?
But as far as information is concerned, it conveys the idea that this is not like a space that we're meant to like walk on.
Not even a guardrail. I bet the broker's agents love patrolling the hull.
At least the view is nice. There! That hatch leads directly to the communication signals. It's locked. Hang on, I've got a bypass shunt program that can crack it.
I mean, I guess we had to protect her well.
How long will it take?
I don't know, Shepard. I've never broken into the Shadow Broker's base before. Well, not this one anyway.
That's cool that she can still.
Sure that shunt is working?
It's illegal even on Ilium. It didn't come with a warranty.
But you tested it, right?
Here come more of them.
Tell me you tested it.
No time to talk.
This is really fun.
I'm sure it won't be much longer.
Remember the old days when you could just slap Omnigel on everything?
That security upgrade made a lot of people unhappy. Look out, more on the way.
Can't target them, Commander. Go down to the scene.
Enemy biotics on the field.
What?
Spread your matter to the scene.
Rocket drones, front of the ship. My target's down.
Go to the scene. Removed one. One ball.
I'll send them flying. Their attacks are disorganized. They'd be more effective if they all attacked at once.
Please don't give the mercs ideas.
Enemy tech drones.
Ow.
Done. The next wave looks like a big one,
You just had to give them tactical advice.
but now there'll be fewer left to deal with inside.
Keep dreaming, Sony.
Got them. There, the hatch is open.
Ellie?
More of them. How many guards do the Shadow Broker have?
Hold your positions no matter the cost.
There you go. Whatever happens, it doesn't matter the cost. It's not working either.
They're under control.
Can't reach the target.
Nope, still. I think it's maybe one continuous, like.
Can't get a lock.
Nope.
Can't target them.
I'll send them flying.
Scored a hit.
Hey, cool, we got a reprieve.
I've downloaded the ship's layout. We're headed toward the prison block. And Farron. Watch out, flashbangs!
Clean kill.
This is one of the trickier ones. Damn it. Oh, go to hell! Oh, I don't know the combination because it's freaking random. Go to hell again! Keep on going to hell until you learn your lesson, okay? Start making sense or face the consequences.
Farron.
Liara?
Hold on. We're getting you out of here.
No.
Farron.
What the hell is the broker trying to do to you?
The equipment is sensitive to tampering. This chair plugs into the broker's info network. You have to shut off the power. Pull me out now, and my brain cooks.
Do you know where we can cut the power?
It won't be easy. You'll have to go to Central Operations.
What do you know about the broker?
He did this to me.
I was hoping you'd know what he is.
I never got a good look, but he's big. The guards are terrified of him.
A Krogan?
I don't know, but not everyone who visits his office comes back out.
What's the point of this cage?
I don't...
It's a neural grounding rod. The medical equipment is to make sure he doesn't expire. We have to shut this place down.
Easy or not, we're all getting out of here.
Good. Central Operations is down the hall. You know the Shadow Broker's waiting for you, right?
I'm counting on it.
We'll be back for you, Farron.
I'll try not to go anywhere.
I want all teams to Outpost C.
Get an LOS. Paint the marks.
Shield your eyes.
Enemy biotics on the field.
It'd be kind of cool to have an actual like co-op mode for
Enemy biotics on the field.
Mass Effect game. Like either preferably both couch co-op and online.
Singularity deployed.
Can't target them.
That was quick.
Here for the drill. Reckless, even for you, Commander.
That bombing on Ilium wasn't exactly subtle.
Extreme, but necessary.
No, it wasn't. Neither was caging Farron for 2 years.
Dr. Tassoni, your interference caused all this. Farron betrayed me when he handed you Shepard's body. The drill is simply paying the price.
Someone was bound to come after you for working with the Collectors.
It was a mutually beneficial partnership. Your arrival is convenient. The Collector's offer still stands.
Be smart. Let Farron walk out with us.
You won't be walking out at all.
You're quite confident for someone with nowhere left to hide.
You travel with fascinating companions, Doctor. Bringing an assassin was shrewd, Tassoni. I'll give Mr. Krios' son my regards.
You're not putting a hand on anyone.
It's pointless to challenge me, Asari. I know your every secret, while you fumble in the dark.
Is that right? You're a Yogg, a pre-spaceflight species quarantined to their homeworld from massacring the Council's first contact teams. This base is older than your planet's discovery, which probably means you killed the original Shadow Broker 60 years ago, then took over. I'm guessing you were taken from your world by a trophy hunter who wanted a slave. Or a pet. How am I doing?
Oh, don't fall hard. I should have saved my ammo for this. That's probably the one part that's I think your heavy armor thing needs to
The shield's kinetically sensitive. Energy and projectiles are bouncing off.
Then we do this the hard way.
now I gotta learn how to melee. First back to square one. I'm not sure. Probably have some.
This should slow them down. Quick, while he's vulnerable.
Excuse me.
If you can get him to bring up that shield again, I've got an idea.
I think this could be harder on lower difficulties and harder if you're
This should slow them down.
cutscene powers. It's gonna be really tricky if you're underleveled or playing on harder difficulty. It's definitely a game where you can be underleveled. Like, there's no way to really
This is Operative Murat. We've had a momentary connection failure. Can you confirm?
What the hell?
Shadow Broker, I've lost our feed. We're online
online. Resume standard procedures.
I want a status report on all operations within the next solar day.
Shadow Broker, out.
Goddess of Oceans. It's you. You... How?
Well, everyone who's ever seen him in person is dead. So...
You're the new Shadow Broker.
Is taking over as the Shadow Broker really a good idea?
It was either that or lose everything. His contacts, his trading sources. Those will really help us. With the Shadow Broker's information network. I can give you... I can...
I'll check the power systems.
It's over. It's finally... For 2 years.
It's all right.
I spent 2 years mourning you and Farron. And now I've got you both back. Let's see what we've got. No safeguards or user restrictions. It's like he never anticipated anyone but himself being here. And it's all ours.
What kind of information are we talking about?
I'm not sure. I'll need to go through his files. Come back later and I'll try to have something useful for you. All I wanted was to rescue Farron, but is it wrong that part of me wants this? With the Shadow Broker's network, I can help you. Maybe I can turn this operation into something better.
Don't be a stranger this time.
Come by when you have a chance. The doors are always open.
And so you'll have the option to kiss her if we didn't romance her before. I think we may have the option to romance her in Free, but we're not going that direction. I mean, we already saw all that Liara's romance had to offer with Zandra, so... As much as she's my favorite romance option in the series. Or use up on the party. Ellie's left weekend.
Shepard, it's so good to see you. I've set up a few terminals with information I think you'll find interesting. Take a look.
Welcome back, Shadow Broker.
What's this?
That's the old broker's VI assistant. It's actually been helpful with rebuilding the network.
Please let me know if I can organize anything else for you, Shadow Broker.
It also thinks anyone in the room is the broker. I'll play around with the settings later.
My manual is ready whenever you have a moment.
This would be the main thing. Well, I cannot firmly attribute the cause of the benign neoplasm to the irregularity of your in your genetic makeup. We can confirm as the progressive damage renders you unable to conceive a child. 12% of human women ages 18 to 54 have difficulty getting pregnant or staying pregnant, according to data obtained from the Institute of Species Research. There are many support groups if you wish to discuss your condition, and several options available should you wish to consider the adoption of a child. Yeah. I mean, it's not necessarily a reason not to romance her, but the main thing is that she's not her type. And she's a little too entangled with Cerberus, at least at this point in time. So, we trust her conditionally as an ally, but men are from Omega, women are from Ilium. There's our partner group. I mean, just her like trying to find like the perfect male. Like she's kind of obsessed with, at least at this point, like finding someone who is roughly as perfect as she is. I have the ability to use advanced training on anyone, and not just ourselves. That's nifty, although that should be the standard feature of the game, not tied to DLC, but whatever. I might as well give a ton of Palladium, so. That's what it's called retrain powers here. For us.
The Turian Council member's mistress has made some unusual purchases lately. She may be expecting to move to a larger mansion.
Uh-oh. My left speaker's gone out again. Okay, so we can get.
It's nearly time to repurchase effective caste status on Karshav. I have deducted funds to grant you full elite access.
Oh yeah, these are like interesting, but I don't think. Some of these I think don't. I don't know. This picture is different if you get um what's nose Anderson on there. Some of these quarter gods, some of them don't. Just talk to Liara some more, but I'm debating about whether or not to do other.
The elusive man wishes to speak to you in the debriefing room, Commander.
Oh, good lord! It's tied to actual proper missions. Go to hell. I think it deserves another negative. Like, it is both. It's kind of a control. It's largely a control negative, but it's also an information negative. I might give it 2 negatives. Um. So it at least requires the information negative. I'm gonna say missions completed. Basically, it makes the game worse. I'm probably going to get a control negative. One for each instance. Because it is just as annoying. Also, it's because this lack of information means you have no ability to control it. Beyond, it hinders your ability to control it. Okay, here is the control negative, which is a lot more intricate. Um, but not only is the lack of consistency with regard to what triggers the next stage of the main quest hinder your ability to the indirect ability to control when the next mandatory stage of the main quest pops up, but it has all the problems from before that were mentioned before. Plus, you may not have recruited everyone you want, or everyone in general, and you have a ton of missions you you may prefer to. I'm gonna you I'm gonna say you may prefer to attend to instead of at this point. So the whole point of this issue is that you lose control. You do not have anything else you can do. You want to go shopping? You can't. You want to go talk to Liara some more? You can't. You can only do things that you can do on the Normandy. So we can talk Jeff, which I want to do, but anything else is just flat out off the table. You have a bunch of missions you'd like to go and do? Too bad. You want to unlock your squad mates' special abilities by doing their loyalty missions? Too bad. You go do this thing that the elusive man is telling you to do, or you can just stop playing the freaking game. What you want to do is no longer important. You have done the required number of missions to trigger this event, and now you must go do the mission. That is bad game design. I do not care who you are. I do not care what you think about the whole idea of, well, this is supposed to be, this is logical that this would happen at a certain point. Or, this is, this is urgent. Like, there's only going to be this limited frame of time to go do this. You are the game designers. I'm talking to BioWare here. You are the people who designed this game. You're the people who designed the story and the progression of events. And decide just how urgent a mission is going to be from a narrative standpoint. Like, you can work around it, or you can just do what a lot of games do and kind of sidestep it a little bit so that the player can have the freedom to go and do what they want at the pace they want and progress at the main quest only when they want to do it. Instead, you're shoehorning the player into doing this. And I have no idea if there's a mod. There should be a mod to fix this problem, because it is just that, a problem. I don't think I've found a mod that fixes this. I don't know if it's because of the way the game is coded, or because people are just so blind to the fact that this is actually a problem that needs to be rectified. Like, look at the number of missions we have. We have Fane, we have Tally, we have Garrus, we have Grunt. Like, we only have, like, one character who's... I think it's just Jake, at this, or Jack, at this point, who we've done the loyalty mission for. So she's the only one with special abilities now. I guess we could report that, I guess. We need to we have all of these, like, other missions we could be doing that from DLC. We have some planets we can go inspect. We have so much we could do. So much that I kind of want to do. But I can't. Because the Elusive Man wants me to go out to the collector ship. Spoilers. Like, control is important. And as much as you want to convey urgency, you have to draw a line. Because it should be up to the player whether they feel it's urgent. Whether they want to roleplay the urgency. And granted, when you're giving the player that freedom, you have to kind of, create a degree of suspension of disbelief just to, like, make the narrative feel consistent or whatever. You know, this look, this is more than a pet peeve. I'm passionate about my belief that that agency in general trumps urgency. Like I'm all for even having consequences for favoring your own agency over the urgency that exists. It shouldn't go too far. And in this game, I will probably give it a positive for the fact that it is possible to do everything, though there may be an information negative. There will be a control positive and an information negative of sorts potentially. Because I'm not sure how clear they make it that like a future mission which is going to the Reaper vessel, the derelict Reaper vessel later. Um, like that's the Death Man mission, and you actually have time to just go and do anything you want, as long as you do it before you go to the Reaper vessel. Um, you're fine. But if you do anything besides one little loyalty mission, um, after the Reaper mission, um, there's going to be significant consequences. And I think that is good game design, but also, um, it's inconsistent from like being shoehorned into doing the mission. I think like I don't think I can give it any negatives, but I would kind of like the idea that like it's a lot harder to go and save everyone at the end. That like you literally have like I would think like this would be a good idea for hardcore mode. In fact, like I would not mind the idea of having like that's why I think this would be even good as a mod. Although I think it also should just be all feature. Like for this remaster, they could have just been like, okay, we're gonna create a mode where you can like ease up on the elusive man mandatory missions. Like maybe they're no longer mandatory. Like they happen around, like they unlock in the same way they do in the original game, but you can like go to them at will, basically. Um, and granted, I imagine they're probably somewhat hard coded into the game, and the best that the mod could probably do at this point is just make the requirements a lot more, particularly here in this middle point, a lot more spaced out. Would be like a good change, and maybe even like different versions of the mod depending on how much you want them to be spaced out. So like it could range from like a kind of middle ground to like literally like every mission that you could possibly have available. Once you do every single mission that you could possibly have available to you, it like that would be the far end of the extreme. Because that also would be a control issue, technically. Like if you are getting bored of doing all these side missions, or main missions, and you want to do a story mission. Um, I also understand that it can sort of disrupt the balance of the game a little bit because, um, this is meant to be a certain level of challenge, and you're going to obviously only be at a particular level. Your character's only going to be at a particular level at this point. Like there's only so much of a level that you can have after doing this many missions. So I think they're trying to like lock you into a certain level of difficulty, which is fine to some extent. I mean that's from the game design standpoint. They don't want to do level scaling, and level scaling has drawbacks, obviously. But then you're forced to do a particularly challenging mission, when you may not want to. And again, player freedom trumps anything. Like, you can have this mission available right away, and if you wanted the mission to be more challenging, I mean, I know the game has difficulty settings already, but, that's it should be kind of up to the player whether or not they want to be challenged by it and do it right away, or want to grow their character a bit more and do it later. Or just do other stuff. Like, regardless of what difficulty they set it to. Like, I hope you can see my point here. I complained about it last time, and now I'm actually, like, codifying it in my frickin' notes. Even though this is not, like, I'm not sure if it's gonna be a proper review. This helps me vent. And when Laura finally gets around to this, I'm probably going to, like, be pushing that. Like, you need to give this game at least one negative for the elusive man contacting you and shoehorning you into missions. Like, maybe even two negatives. Like, at least, because you can have one negative for the fact that the triggers are kind of inconsistent. Because, like, the first one is literally, recruitment. It doesn't, like, any other side missions don't matter. But then, man, I haven't really tried doing the loyalty missions that are available right away from the side characters. Those might count toward the allotment. I don't know. Like, I probably should be experimenting for the sake of of being absolutely sure. And it's not even that bad the first time. So I mean, I could be convinced potentially to get rid of the first negative and just give it an overall negative for the two times that it happened. Like, this one in particular pisses me off the most. If you can't hear it, in my voice. Just because you have so much to do, so many places to go, and you can't do any of it. Like, at least during the first time, you have a chance to, like, go and do a fair amount of stuff before, and particularly if it is locked to recruiting everyone you can recruit at that point. You can just go and do all of the side missions, and there's not a whole lot available. A lot of stuff is locked behind. I don't think anything in particular is locked behind completing this new elusive man mission. Like, there's just the final mission that's locked behind this. Or not the final mission, but like the point of no return mission, basically. And I will give it credit for the fact that it doesn't lock you into the point of no return. Again, I favor the idea of having a hardcore mode where you are locked into it, or more locked into it. Like, literally, it'd be interesting to have a hardcore mode where you could, for example, literally cannot do all of the loyalty missions. So you had to, like, pick and choose, kind of, which loyalty missions you favor. So, I mean, because we're going to another main quest mission, I'm probably going to call it here. Like, I'm going to debrief with Jack and stuff, and maybe try and see if I can talk to anybody else. But at this point, I'm pretty much like, I'm abstaining from Twitch. I do at least want to have it be that I only do one mission, or like one DLC thing off of Twitch before returning to Twitch and then continuing the main plot. So anyone who's like the one or two people who are following this on Twitch, can won't miss anything like that's critical to the main plot. Um,
Change of plans, Commander. Urgent message.
Change of plans, Commander. Negative for change of plans. That is dumb, and it's bad game design. You know, they might as well be. I might as well have one of the game developers break into my hand and then rip the controller out of my head and said, "No! You will do this mission." They like press all the buttons to confirm that I do this mission. And then like, "Here, I'm back. Good luck." Like, what was that all about? BioWare dev breaking into my home? Ripping the controller from my hand, and I need to put my headphones back on. Like, I hope I made my point about how pissed off I am about this.
Hey.
Talk to me, Jack.
Why? I'm not interested in some dumb shit love affair. Never goes right.
Why do you put so much distance between us?
Thinking.
Guy used me like the rest. For sex, for biotics. It was fun, and he ruined everything. We tagged a weapons frigate with a Batarian escort and got separated. He had a choice. Leave with the guns, or come back for me. Idiot dumped the score and waded into the squints. I made the shuttle, but no way he was getting out.
And?
I fly for a day or so, and then the shuttle kicks out this recording. He set it to play if he hadn't checked in. He figured that would mean he was dead.
Oh.
Talked about the future
Making me
he was
dizzy.
supposed to have, how he had planned to set us up a home, how he loved me, and he was sorry it wasn't going to happen.
I see me take revenge. I don't think we're gonna diagnose her here.
I'm sorry you lost him.
I didn't lose anything. Idiot took himself out. You feel, you get sloppy. It's that damn simple. He found out, and you'll find out.
If he had left you, you would have died.
So what? You ever see me flinch? Or run? Death is easy. Fucking on-off switch. But this, it just burrows in. Like those husks, you end up with nothing inside. I'm supposed to take that and say, thanks, dead guy.
I really like that, like, I really wish, like, this makes me wish even more that she was romanceable by FemShed, because this is a good scene. And we completely miss out on it because we can't romance her because of stupid Fox News. Like, stuff like this is also why I would want a pansexual mod. It is not about, you know, turning this into a porn game where I can just like sleep with everyone. No, it's about the content. It's about the personal connections that you're making with these characters. I mean, like, and this is my own age talking, okay? But getting to experience that content and getting to experience it, excuse me, as your shepherd. Like, and, you know, make the choices during those scenes that your shepherd would make. Because, like, you can be like, oh, go watch a YouTube video. Well, they're not going to be making the choices and dialogue decisions that I would make. Like, ignoring the fact that their Shepard is going to look different from my Shepard. I'm going to say brilliant. Um, at first, maybe, but I'm just I'm gonna put at first question mark since I'm in the middle of the scene. Um, um,
I can't make all of that go away, Jack. Not in a few talks.
No kidding. Told you we wouldn't work. Guess you'll be spending more time upstairs.
this is a bad idea. Goodbye.
No. I'll be here with you.
But you just said...
I said I couldn't fix it. I didn't say you weren't worth staying for anyway.
Okay, what the fuck, Shepard?
So you're crazy, so what? That's practically stamped on the boarding pass for this mission.
It's just gonna hurt. Or you'll mess around. Or I'll end up killing you or something.
And?
And... that sucks.
So it'll suck. But how much fun is it gonna be on the way?
I need some time to think, alright? Really, just leave me alone. God damn it.
Yeah, let's try to at first. Like, you can kind of see them rain down a little bit, but not quite. Like, that's just like that is in character. That she's holding back. She's visibly holding back tears. I kind of want to see what she says now.
Hey.
We need to discuss our relationship.
I said I want to think about everything. I just... You know what it's like to think you're alone and find out you're not?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh.
You don't have to agree so fast, you fucker.
Okay. I guess we could go to the next stage.
If you need to think, I can wait. For a while.
This is so strange for me, and you just keep pushing. What am I supposed to do with that? You're weird, Shepard. That kind of gets me off.
I mean, it's like a... like... I think we're gonna play it by ear a little bit in Mass Effect 3, whether or not we continue with Jack or progress with Ashley. Like I might also have to do a little bit of research because like again, it's not about like whether or not there's going to be a sex scene from either character. It's a matter of like how much the game does with the relationship, and that's kind of part of why I want to try and I mean I I've been spoilers kind of for like what I'm planning. I just want to get it out of the way in case somebody wants to leave feedback. Um, my intent is to romance Jack in this game, and then potentially go back to romancing Ashley in the third game. I know that's possible, but the question is, would um, my Shepherd be inclined to do that to Jack after everything? And it may depend. I think it's going to depend on a few things. One is how the situation with Ashley is set up and paced. I know a little bit about how Ashley's relationship is paced. That it, particularly if you do romance someone else in this game, she, like, I think she hears about it and is a little pissed at you for that. Um, Initially, then there's certain events that kind of can lead to that you have the option to reinitiate that relationship, regardless of what I chose here, which is good. But again, would our encounter with Jack happen before we get to reinitiate? We have a chance to reinitiate things with Ashley. Um, and also, on a metagame note, I kind of want to research how much meat does each path have? Because that's like the kind of the thing for me. Because right off the bat, Jack isn't a playable squad member, so we can't like just have continual conversations with her. But we're probably just gonna have like one or two extra scenes with her, maybe a sex scene. Again, don't really care about that. Because those aren't exactly interactive, and that is the very thing that you can just like look up on YouTube or other websites. And yeah, they're not going to look like your shepherd, but it wouldn't matter as much to me. Like like what are different like again on the metagame front, what's going to be a more interesting story or what's going to affect um like what am I going to get more content out of, I guess. And I imagine that Jack, there's not going to be a lot of content for Jack because she's a side character and she could potentially be dead, and they're not necessarily going to invest quite as much effort into fleshing out that relationship or the culmination, as it were, of that relationship, like not figuratively but actually, within the narrative. Um, so yeah, and I just find the idea of Shepard getting back with Ashley to be, considering that she's on a ship and we can talk to her throughout the entire game, and not just like the little sections where we're allowed to, um, is like that is potentially going to be more interesting to see unfold and to interact with. Um, so on that metagame level, I am leaning toward that. On a role playing level, I'm torn. Um, and I feel like if Shepard or if Jack seems like she would just be absolutely torn apart if we dumped her for Ashley. Um, I may have to. Um, I may feel like it's possible because I think it is just kind of one scene, and we can see it play out either way. Because from what I understand, there's a point where we can meet up with her later on into the game, and then she'll kind of ask us whether we want to continue or not, and I can see how each plays out, and then like go back and make the choice based on purely metagame information. Um, because I feel like if it's done in such a way where like there wouldn't really be any like hard feelings or her just climbing back into her shell, that and reverting her character progress basically a little bit. Um, I think that I wouldn't like that. But if it's just like okay, like it was fun while it lasted. I kind of learned about love and those things. I get it. Like there, if it is like a situation where there's no hard feelings and she, most importantly to me and Shepard, would be that she's okay with it. Like not for his sake, but for her sake. Like that would be the complication in where I was kind of intending to go. Is that will she be able to make peace with the fact that we're maybe a little more interested in someone else, in pursuing someone else? Um, the other idea would be to just dump her for gameplay purposes and say, nope, that's not what actually happened in canon. Like we just play out the scene where we do like hook up or whatever, and whatever comes of that, if anything. Um, I'm sure there'd be something during the conclusion as well, that would reference our still being romantically involved. Um, it'd be nice to see that, if but like we could kind of role play around it with the whole polyamory thing. Um, and be like, okay, like the first cutscene where we decided to stay with her officially happened in our canon. We just like went back and made the other choice so that we could have access to Ashley as well. Um, because the game does not actually allow us to be polyamorous. Um, I think at this point, I think the only thing we're actually going to get out of Tally is her loyalty mission. And it's funny because we have the quest already, but I don't think we've talked to her about it. So I think it's kind of a no-go for even debriefing other people because they all have their loyalty missions and that like locks out.
Shepard, I'm glad you came by. I may need your help. I just received a message from the migrant fleet. The Admiralty Board has accused me of treason. I'm scared, Shepard.
Nobody who knows you could believe you betray your people, Tally.
I don't know. They don't lay charges like this unless the evidence seems absolute.
I should have said didn't actually left this for the Twitch stream.
Your faith in me, Shepard.
Some people that aren't just like who are completely new what aren't just lost, but I doubt there's gonna be that many people.
Is it because you're working with Cerberus?
I'm not working with Cerberus. I'm working with you. And I got leave to serve on the Normandy again. I have no idea what they're accusing me of. You'd think I would remember if I betrayed the fleet.
What happens when a Quarian is accused of treason?
There's a hearing, with members of the Admiralty Board acting as judges. My father is an admiral on the board.
Well, this seems urgent. Let's go do it. Oh, wait. The Lucid Man won't let us do it. Well, he's a prick.
The punishment for treason is exile. If they convict me, I can never go back.
Well, we can't afford a delay because...
Okay, let's go find the flotilla.
Let's do it right now. Wait. But the Lucid Man has a message for me. Let's see what that's all about. Well, we have to go look electricity. Well, we'll do that after this. Wait, no, we can't? Why can't we? Aren't we in charge? Aren't we the frickin' captain? I'm sorry for talking over this. Didn't you say we can do what the hell we want to do? This is a further reason why...
The forward tanks are buoyant and elevated.
Are you talking about the Normandy or Miranda?
I'm talking about the one that's covered and protected, not bouncing in the breeze.
I don't know. Operative Lawson's uniform is very official. It always makes me stand at attention.
You're such a dog.
You have Grunt going through puberty. Like, this is selective urgency. Oh yeah, we didn't do Morden's loyalty mission too, so we can take Jack and Morden on this mission because they're the ones who have. We gotta feed our fish. At least we can feed our fish. At least we have the freedom to feed our fish. And I wonder if I should also like have a positive for messages that are for the choices in this game. Actually, I can talk to Fane too, because we haven't quite gotten to his loyalty mission, but I should probably talk to him. Ellie, please, I am not in a very good mood. Wait, that's which.
So the collectors did take New Canton.
Yes, but my wife and daughter left in the nick of time. They're resting in San Francisco as we speak.
That's great news.
It is, but I knew a lot of good people in New Canton. Our mission has to succeed.
Thank God Shepard's in command.
And if I were really in command, I'd be skipping the collector ship to
Shepard.
help my crew.
Is there something wrong?
Yes. Now that you are here, though, it seems more difficult to talk about.
Are you feeling sick? I could get the doctor.
No. Though I suppose that is a part of it. My mortality has me dwelling on things.
And now I have his loyalty mission, which we need to do right away.
I had a family once.
We can't.
Son. His name is Kolyat. I haven't seen him for a very long time.
How long has it been since you talked?
10 years. He showed me some of his schoolwork and asked if we could dance crazy. We did that when he was younger.
What sort of dance is that?
It's... I checked my extranet contacts. I expect an update on my next target. The console plays music. Old. Unfashionable. Kolyat jumps into the room. My father runs around in circles. I scoop him up, toss him into the air. He shrieks, laughs, spin me. The console beeps. I put him down. Click the message. Father, he pleads. Tugs my sleeve. I need to read this, I say. I don't look at him.
Did something happen to them?
I abandoned them. Oh, not all at once. Nothing dramatic, no sneaking out in the middle of the night, no final argument or slammed door. I just did my job. I hunted and killed across the galaxy. Away on business, my wife would tell people. I was always away on business.
You never mentioned this before. Why now?
When my wife departed from her body, I attended to that issue. I left Kolyat in the care of his aunts and uncles. I have not seen him or talked to him since.
Yeah, I don't think we spoke of him enough before to like really get the idea that he has a perfect memory, basically. Or, very intense memories that he can sometimes not control how much he's reliving each memory whenever it's triggered, like in perfect detail. I mean, if you did have perfect memory, it would be kind of awful to remember everything all the time. Like, your brain would be kind of overwhelmed. Like, the longer you live, the more noise there is.
That's not the choice I expected. Why didn't you raise him yourself?
My body is blessed with the skills to take life. The Hanar honed them in me. I have few others. I didn't want that life for Kolyat. I hoped he would find his own way. If he hated me, so be it. He would not have shared the path of sin. I used my contacts to trace Kolyat. He has become disconnected. He does what his body wills.
You'll have to explain that one to me.
Disconnected. The body is not our true self. The soul is. Body and soul work as one in a whole person. When the soul is weakened by despair or fear, when the body is ill or injured, the individual is disconnected, no longer whole.
What's wrong with him? Is he hurt?
Something happened that should not have. He knows where I've been, what I've done. I don't know his reasons, but he has gone to the Citadel. He's taken a job as a hitman. I would like your help to stop him. This is not a path he should walk.
We'll stop him later because we...
Thank you, Shepard. I'll be meditating until you need me.
Because the elusive man needs things done now. I am not letting that go. Like, this is actually like exchanging one form of urgency for another.
The elusive man wishes to speak to you in the debriefing room, Commander.
I'm sorry to leave on such an awful note, but like that's just like I feel very strongly that this is not good. But anyway, there's a bunch of things you can do. You can like, dislike, do whatever the hell heck you want. Tomorrow I will be streaming on Twitch once again. As the boycott will be lifted. I assume. Hopefully Twitch will actually make some kind of statement and promise to do something. That's all I can really hope for. I'm not gonna like abandon Twitch permanently, especially since once again, this is for me. This is about solidarity. This is about I have something of a personal stake in it, but at the end of the day, I'm me alone. I am not that important. If I were like a more substantial streamer with some degree of success and a following of people who could, speak for me and, who would be affected more by my absence from Twitch, and use that absence, use their desire to see me back, as further motivation than what they should already have as human beings, to, raise even more of a stink, or heck, if I were like really actively making Twitch money, and me like leaving for even a week or a month or however long would have some kind of impact on their bottom line, you know, if my basically if my absence from Twitch would be a big deal, I would ideally more for them than for me. But for a cause like this, I'd probably be willing to take a little bit of a financial hit just to help drive the point home, and hopefully Twitch would do something or make some kind of statement or some kind of promise, ideally, to deal with this. Then I would do it. And hope that like Patreon or whatever else would, and streaming on other platforms would pick up some of the slack. But unfortunately, I'm not in that kind of position. So I, beyond this token, you know, uh, action of solidarity, I don't know what else to do. So we're coming back to Twitch tomorrow, and I'll actually have a lot more time tomorrow, so I'll be able to stream a bit more than this, hopefully. But anyways, again, there's a bunch of things you can do. You can also spread the word about what's been happening on Twitch with like hate raids. I'm not going to go into explaining what they are again. Just look it up. Whatever change.org stuff there is, or just make sure that people that are raising it just think about it as they can. But in any case, there's a few other things you can do besides that, like the Minecraft realm. There's my Patreon, if you feel like supporting me financially. But regardless of all that, I thank you for watching.